Hello, class. My name is Alexander Black, and I am completing my Project One self study. Uh, the question is, who is Alexander Black? And this what this assignment helps me better understand, not only to become a good teacher or great professor, but to become a better person. It outlines different areas that I can better understand students and I can better understand myself. Different areas of culture, diversity, religion, different aspects that entail an individual. I chose this format of video because this is best for me. I really like writing. I really like listening. But just doing a video, I can kind of go off script and be myself, and I really like that more than anything else. Uh, Throughout time and just in my as I spoke before in my introduction video, I have a background in social work. So when doing this assignment, it really hit upon a lot of details that I have studied over time. One thing being personalities, which I believe is a bunch of characteristics uh, that can make up a person. Just who they are, what they, who they are, and the difference they make in people's lives. According to American Psychology Association, personality refers to an individual difference in characteristics, patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Uh, a lot of people say that I have a different personalities or different emotions or different feelings towards different subjects. But all that entails of who I am and what my personality is. Um, there's my intake on things does not can differ from others, but does not mean that our personality does not um, combine for something good in some sort. Um, and the good part is understanding how those various parts of a person come together as a whole, and that helps define who you are. Uh, Next is mostly understanding what type of learner that you are. When you're speaking to your students, you have to actually identify what's the best way for them to learn. A lot of them learn through hearing things, hearing the instructions, hearing how to do those things, help better them to complete their assignments, or also completing or just hearing how to do it visually, just looking at it, because just hearing it, sometimes you actually have to see it, actually have to see how things are constructed, see the different things that entail to be a whole part in that way. Um, and then you have those tactical learners, people who are hands-on, people who work uh, hand with the things that they're working with, um, and they're touching, they're feeling, they're moving, they're emphasizing the that learning for some and most people is done by just doing. Me myself, I am a doer. I like to do things. I like to learn by putting my hands on those things, that object or that subject, or actually doing things with a student or client when I was working case management with adolescents. So that's going to definitely help uh, me understand students better and uh, actually knowing how I learn myself. The next thing is ways of learning, which I sum up to be ways of learning or learning styles. Uh, uh, it's a one before, but multiple intelligence. Uh, Pretty much just saying um, the different kinds of mind, and therefore learning, remember, performing, and understanding in different ways. Kind of sum it how I summed it up. It can be a student that learns different things by hearing music. Some students may listen to music while they're studying, uh, and that's kind of how I am. I'll listen to music while I'm studying, and as I'm taking my test or writing my paper, I hear music in my head, which helps me produce better um uh, tests or produce better handwritten assignments. And that's just trying to find out what type that you are. Maybe you're, uh, you know, hands-on again, logical, mathematical, visual, uh, distinctive to sound, distinctive to motion, color. There's different areas that I've written down that I researched. The reading abilities, performance models, constructing different things, uh, motor skills, verbal. There's so many ways that you can elaborate on this point. Uh, Next is mostly your political preference. Uh, Mostly you're known for Democratic or Republican preference. Your ideal on abortion, your ideal on terrorists, your ideal on what's good or bad, your ideal on racism, the morals of women, the morals of illegal immigrants. Uh, but that is something that I believe does not spill into your teaching. Especially, for example, if you're a history teacher and you're studying, your class is studying the Democratic Party, just because you're a Republican does not make uh, give you the right to disregard that party when it's a part of history. It is our duty to teach that because it is a part of our history, and our political preference should not intervene with our teaching. But it is good to know so that you can will not become biased, which is also one point within this assignment, and having creating a mindset of that this particular party or particular concept and political interest is less important than the other. Uh, and I can go directly into being prejudiced and just having unreasonable feelings, attitudes about different races, social, ethnic groups, and those such. Just being, um, don't like to use this word, but just hateful towards different areas or individuals. That is something that we should not engage in. Social economic status, uh, just pretty much is underlining education, income, and work. Uh, you hear poverty lines, middle class, suburban areas, and just identifying where you are and where your students can be. Some students may not have the resources that other students have. You can use resources at your school, such as guidance counselors. Sometimes teachers have organizations to help students with maybe school supplies or technology that they may need to help advance their education. So these are areas that you can use and know about so that you won't be as strict on a student because you never know their economical status. Uh, Me myself is a big part of family. I really engage in family. I love family. I love my sisters. I love my brothers. I am the second uh, child of my mother, uh, and I come from a fatherless home. I actually was not raised by my mother. I was raised by my grandmother, and you will learn that students have either taken different paths or similar paths as you. You have That's why teachers have so much of heart because they see themselves uh, in those students that they're teaching and engaging with on a daily basis. You see how family and how children who don't have family interact daily with others, which may affect their social skills down the line. Religion and spirituality is a key thing with students, a key thing with yourself. I myself do believe in God, but there are some students who may not believe in God because their family has instilled those characteristics into that student. But you have to respect their intake on religion and do not force students or people or colleagues that you work with into a religion workplace or classroom. Uh, know your religion, love your religion, but that is something that we should not a tree that you should not embark on. Sexuality. Uh, just knowing that in this day of time, sexualities are different. There's more, there's more experimenting in earlier, excuse me, in earlier ages. Knowing more about knowledge due to social media and technology, but just respecting your own social sexuality and understanding, especially at higher levels, different sexualities that you may uh, engage in, uh, through your teaching experience. My interest is fishing. Hobbies: I love fishing. I love engaging with others. I love sporting events, and those are things that I love. Those are things that I can, uh, things and stories that I can share with my students. How those things help. Going back to my social work background, how those things help you with coping skills. What are things that you do to help help you in a bad day? Do not have when you're having a day where you just don't feel yourself. You're not your own. You're out of your own character. You're portraying someone that you're not. Uh, those interests that you go back to. Hey, man, I had a bad day. I may go fishing. Or hey, I had a bad day. I may draw. I may listen to music. These are things that interest me, and those are things that you can teach your students to learn and engage in. Your body language as a teacher is very important. If you're angry, you should not let your body language display that. Students pick up on that. Students are not individuals who just don't know anything. They pick up on, like you said, there's visual learners, there's learners, visual learners, and people who listen very well. So your body language and image is definitely something that you need to elaborate on. Uh, and uh, Also, one thing that I touched upon in body image when doing case management, where there's a lot more huskier students that I work with. They dealt with bullying and not having good social actions with different students due to the way that their body image was portrayed. And you have to engage with those students, make them feel wanted, identify those students who are being bullied, and identifying those students who are being isolated within your classroom. I think that is very important. Uh, Next one is just marital status. I myself is single, uh, but there are. I just kind of go back, just going back to being a student. Is some students may not have married parents, don't have a parent at all, who may be single like me. So you have to, respect those things and know those things and know how it can affect your students, how it can affect your profession, uh, and how you engage with your colleagues also. Um, I think a lot of these key points is really what makes who I am. I can go into greater details, but the video would not be will be so much longer than what it is. You have to really identify those things, which I call as a self-assessment of yourself. You have to know yourself to be a better person. You have to know yourself to be a better teacher and professional. Uh, I wanted to make sure that I elaborated on each concept and each point within this assignment, and it really did help me looking at different articles and looking. I could have named a number of definitions and quotes that I have looked up and seen while completing this assignment. Uh, but it really helps you know who you are, and when you identify your name, you know exactly who that person is. My name is Alexander Black, and I am uh, entailed with a lot of personalities. I'm strong about my family, my religion. I believe in understanding the student. I believe in being hands-on and working. I believe on doing things that's right for the student. I believe that all political aspects of my own opinion is important, but I also know that everyone's opinion about political components are not the same. My interests can influence students. My interests can make things better for students, and my interests can give students the ability to find their own interests, find things that help them throughout their educational years. Um, and that's who I am. My weakness, uh, My weakness is just being judgmental of myself. Sometimes I'm hard on myself. I think that I'm not as good as what I think I am. I try to and I second guess my own opinions. So I have to be more strong minded. Under, go around my strengths of being a character, being a great person, being a great personality towards with people, uh, having a huge heart, being productive, being a hard worker, being a quick learner. Those are the strengths, and I have to really understand what my weaknesses are, and really enhance those over time. It can affect my teaching and relationship that I may have with others or students, but the great part is that I can identify it, and that's what helps me learn and work on what my weaknesses are. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's a very long video, and I hope you guys uh, learned something and learned something about you guys itself while completing this assignment. Thank you.